is our good friend of the show, Rathbone. He went on Tim Pool's show the other night for a debate with the Misfit Patriot, a guy whose name is Zach Bonfilio, who is trying desperately to turn into one of those 8,000 a month paid propagandists. He's not quite there yet because he's actually an unlikable fuck. And on top of everything else, he actually accused friend of the show, Greg Stoker, of stolen valor. This is a guy who didn't even serve. But he decided that he desperately needed to debate Rathbone about Israel-Palestine. Here we go.
From your argument that it looks like a wasteland, right? You can pull up a picture right now of what Japan looked like after
Japan is the imperial empire of Japan. It's not an occupied country.
Okay, but they look
Palestine is an occupied country.
You pull up.
I mean, right off the bat, he's trying to justify the similarities between the two, and right away, Rathbone is letting him know that you're a moron, and I'm going to continue to prove that you are. And a typical moron who can't defend his point is going to sidestep and try to address it in a different way.
Pictures of Dresden. You pull up pictures.
Japan was starting wars with the United States. Like, they had a military, they had an army, they had a navy. The Palestine has been systematically deinstitutionalized, de-developed by Israel for decades now.
So you said that Japan
it's not a fair argument.
So you said that the reason Japan looks like Gaza is because Japan started a war with the United States, and that's why it looks like Gaza.
No, I'm not defending your Hiroshima bombing that you're just saying, oh, yeah.
Okay, what about
when they dropped the nuclear bomb? I don't. They killed 300,000 civilians.
Was Hiroshima a genocide, or was it?
Yes.
Was it a necessary military action?
Yes, it was absolutely a genocide
to prevent Japan from.
No, it was wanton wholesale destruction of entire cities.
Not a genocide.
And killed hundreds of thousands of civilians.
Not a genocide.
That is.
I mean, I don't know if this guy gets any type of debate prep, but he sucks. Like, he really does. I really don't like this guy, Zach Bonfilio, who apparently was recently charged with assault of an elderly employee. You should go look into that story. Of course, a guy like that would pick on somebody who's old and inferior physically to him because he's a coward all the way around. But I really don't know what the hell his point is here. But the idea that he would say that everything started on October 7th, right there shows you that he's not a substantive guy. He has his talking points, he memorizes them, and he just sticks with them. And Rathbone is like trying to maintain some semblance of patience and peace. Can't do it. Not with this clown.
Genocide in whole or in part.
Was Operation Gomorrah a genocide? When the U.S. and the Royal Air Force bombed Hamburg, Germany, specifically targeting civilian areas in order to break the Nazi regime, 9,000 tons of bombs were dropped, right? And what happened? It demoralized the Germans, because when you are in a war, hold on, when you are in a war, the way you solve a war is you make it untenable for the other side to continue.
This guy did not serve in the military, yet everything about him would have you suggest that he was in the military in some way, shape, or form. He is so, I can't think of the right word, but he feels so inadequate. He's probably inadequate in many ways. And he feels the need to put himself out there like he is, again, Misfit Patriot. But this isn't a war. This is a genocide, of which he supports. The way that they really try to defend this shit, it's such a tired state of affairs now to watch it in real time. But hey, Zachary Boy is going to do anything and everything to get that paycheck. He is so desperate to be in the club. He is so desperate to be accepted. And somehow he's got 100,000 subscribers on Instagram. People actually listen to him and think he's good.
If the thing that those people care about is their infrastructure, their buildings, their civilian population, whatever, that's what happens. Is there a genocide going on in Ukraine, in Russia, or is that two people fighting because one of them started a war? And this is what you people don't understand. You keep using the word genocide. You keep on trying to hammer it into people's heads. It's not a genocide just because you say it is.
Actually, it is a genocide, and not because you think it's not. And on top of everything else, this is a person who wants to pretend that he doesn't actually know why Ukraine started in the first place. Again, his talking points aren't even good. They're not even articulated well. He just jumps from one thing to the next thing to the next thing because he doesn't have any leg to stand on. He grabs a few headlines, he runs with them, and he just tries to run roughshod over his opponent, if you will, because that's all he's got. He doesn't have anything. He's a bag of hot fucking air. But there's more.
Working eyes and ears based off of this conversation. I think that's in the affirmative. Have you seen the videos of Hamas firing on their own civilians, right? When they get those aid trucks in. You haven't seen them?
That's Israeli. That's those Israeli forces that have done that.
No,
and again.
Okay, so he actually thought it was smart to make to sell a talking point that it's Hamas that is shooting at the civilians. We've had Anthony Aguilar on our podcast over a week ago. And this guy clearly stays up to date with whatever's going on because, again, he's desperate to be in the club. Could you imagine actually saying, you accuse Greg Stoker of stolen valor and you spit in the face of somebody like Anthony Aguilar, who actually was there and witnessed not only the Israeli soldiers shooting at Palestinians, but now American soldiers have been caught doing the same thing. And you're going to go out there on a debate of whatever the fuck you want to call this on Timcast and say that it was Hamas that was doing the shooting? I mean, there are pathetic people out there, but this guy is worse than pathetic. He's small dick pathetic. Like, that's what he is. Whether he has it or not, I'm not sure, but he probably does. And it's just, to me, it speaks to the level of desperation that some people are willing to go to in order to build a network, an audience, in order to get paid. Because for him, it's all about getting paid. Let me see. What can I say that would absolutely stir controversy? It's actually Hamas that's shooting at the Palestinians who are desperate for food and water. That would make a lot of sense. I don't know how the hell Rathbone kept it together, but somehow he kept his head.
Again. Even if that was true, even if it was true,
it's true.
We're talking about a belligerent occupier occupying people.
Then why are they shooting their own citizens?
They don't get the right to say. They don't get the right to say, "Oh, look at them."
So is Hamas?
Look at what they're doing.
So is
they're
Hamas
engaging.
against the Palestinians?
They're stealing the loot. They're looting the aid. Dude, get out of their country.
No, it's Gaza.
Stop blocking the aid.
I'm talking.
You
about
have no right. You have no right to go in there and tell them
Israelis.
how much food can.
One thing I could tell you about Misfit Patriot, the guy clearly has never been for lack of food. He's never had to deal with such a situation where he didn't have food. He is a privileged son of a bitch, if there ever was. Honest to God, it's incredible what some people will say just to get a rise.
Be let in. They're a country. They're allowed to trade.
They're not a country.
They're allowed.
You said it earlier.
They're not a country because they're denied the rights of a country.
But you're saying they're not a
country.
country.
I think that's wrong.
Okay.
Yeah.
You can make that argument, but
I can, and I just did.
Like I said, Rathbone, if you ever watch his content, he's generally very even-keeled. He's actually very chill. Again, he comes from Louisiana. So he's just chill in general. And this guy is clearly pushing a button in him that he can't hold back. He's like, your arrogance and ignorance is so over the top that I have to give you the business. It's beyond stupidity at this point. So I hope he gets roasted to death. He's not going to go away. I just hope no one is stupid enough to pay him. That's what I'm hoping for. Because you can tell, you can easily tell that Misfit Patriot's goal is to, much like the Wired story with the Democratic Party grifters, he wants in on that pie. He wants his $8,000 a month to spew this bullshit. That's what he's trying to get. But you know what? Sometimes you're such a shitbag and an unlikable person that it doesn't matter if you're willing to do it. We can't sell you because people don't like you. And that's it.
You can't occupy something that isn't a country.
Yes, you can. It is a country under
Israel.
International law. It's recognized as a sovereign territory, but it is under illegal occupation.
It's a
country that's being deprived its rights as a country.
Yeah, but real quick, Misfit,
it's not a country.
Even Alex Stein, who is a smug son of a bitch if there ever was one, was defending Rathbone and telling this guy that, no, actually, Israel's wrong, and I don't understand why you're defending this. We know why he's doing it. It's just he's trying to figure out his path. He's trying to figure out that path to get some of the cash. That's it. But kudos to Rathbone for just not giving an inch.